coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Tonight, Hurricane Milton made landfall near Siesta Key, Florida. That's a barrier island next to Sarasota. And right now, you're taking a live look from Fort Myers, south of Sarasota. You can see the heavy rain and the strong wind gusts hitting the area. Good evening, everyone. I'm Evie Allen.
And I'm John Murphy. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Matt Beckwith. And Matt, what does the path look like now that the hurricane has made landfall?
Yeah, John, Evie, we'll take a look at your mid-Missouri forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Well, this is a live look from downtown Tampa. Now, wind and extremely heavy rainfall are creating catastrophic flooding across that area.
Officials are warning people to stay put and not try to leave now that the storm is making its way through the state. CNN's Lee Waldman is in Tampa with the latest.
Waters come up!
In Tampa, Florida, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
And this is a look at poweroutage.us. The website is currently reporting over 1.5 million people without power in Florida. Most of those reports are on the western side of the state. And President Joe Biden says the federal government stands ready to help people in the path of Hurricane Milton. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris urge residents of Florida to listen to their local officials and evacuate. The president called Milton, quote, the storm of the century, and acknowledged how tough it is to have back-to-back hurricanes.
I know it's really tough leaving behind your home, your belongings, everything you own. But I urge everyone in Hurricane Milton's path to follow all safety instructions as we head to the next 24 hours. It's literally a matter of life and death.
Storm surge warnings cover almost the entirety of Florida's western coast.
Well, before Hurricane Milton made landfall just a couple of hours ago, it led to a tornado outbreak in Florida. You can see one of those tornadoes on your screen. It's crossing I-75 in Fort Myers. The tornado did not appear to impact any populated areas. Governor Ron DeSantis says there have been 19 confirmed tornado touchdowns statewide. Governor Mike Parson deployed 100 members of the Missouri National Guard to Florida. Parson also deployed 21 state troopers and civilian support staff. He says the deployment is expected to cost $1.6 million, which will come from the state's emergency response fund. And that's not the only support helping the cleanup from mid-Missouri.
Now, just under 2 weeks after Helene hit the southeast, Boone County line workers are coming home after assisting with the recovery.
Yeah, KOMU 8's Mickey Doolittle found out the impact they had and who will be taking their place. Mickey?
10 line workers who have been in Georgia since late September are on their way home. 10 more from Boone Electric Cooperative are taking their place. These are some of the images captured by that first crew. The wreckage of Helene has been massive. It is all a part of a collective effort from cooperatives across the country to restore power. 30 of Missouri's 40 cooperatives have been sent people to help, totaling in 197 workers. The second crew sent from Boone County will be in Lyons, Georgia, where over 1,500 poles need to be removed and replaced. Nearly 2,000 total linesmen have been helping from across the nation. One spokesperson shed light on why this collaboration is so important.
The reason that we do it is because, the cooperative system, we're all individual, but we're part of a huge family. So those folks that are down there that need help right now in Georgia, those line workers, those are going to be the same folks that come up here and help us.
The first crew is expected to return to Columbia tomorrow. In the studio, Mickey Doolittle, KOMU 8 News.
All right, thank you, Mickey. Well, it's not just Boone County forces helping with hurricane relief. 30 volunteers with the Red Cross in St. Louis are also in Florida and ready to respond. Volunteers are there to help with both the immediate touchdown and the aftermath. They're assisting with evacuation centers and providing emergency supplies. The executive director of the St. Louis Red Cross says their job is to be there for anyone who needs them.
For me right now, in a time that can be seen as very polarizing, to see people come together when it's needed the most, that's what it's all about.
The St. Louis Red Cross has previously deployed for Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Maria, among others.
In other national news, former President Donald Trump campaigned in the battleground state of Pennsylvania today. His first stop was Scranton, President Biden's hometown. He courted working-class voters who've been traditionally Biden supporters. The former president is continuing to ramp up his attacks on Vice President Harris with less than 1 month until the presidential election.
If we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing. It's very simple. And your taxes will come down and your safety will go up.
Well, this is Trump's second visit to Pennsylvania in the past week. He was back in Butler on Saturday. And if you haven't registered to vote, the clock is ticking. The deadline to register to vote in person and by mail in Missouri is tonight.
That's right. You can still register online, but you must do it by midnight. For that link, you can head over to our website, komu.com. Well, MU's agricultural economist Bob Maltzbarger says America's net farm income is projected to be around $137 billion. That's a $9 billion decline from last year's farm net income. The decline is mostly due to lower crop revenue from items like soybeans and corn. Higher cattle prices will not offset the impact of lower crop prices. However, food inflation is expected to continue to slow down into the next year. Maltzbarger says farmers might need to change how they do things.
Farmers are good at producing crops, but the challenge is if you have negative cash flow above total costs means that you're going to be losing money. So what that means is some of those farmers may be pulling back on the number of acres they plant next spring.
The MU Rural and Farm Finance Policy Analysis Center will put out a report soon addressing this issue.
Coming up, what's bringing business owners from around the globe right here to Mid-Missouri?
But first, the Columbia Citizens Police Review Board is trying to find a new way forward after a legal shakeup and the resignation of a member.
Our cool nights continue, but not as cold as we've been. 50 tonight, 82 tomorrow. We're talking a warming trend, then a big cool down in my first alert forecast.
Welcome back. The Columbia Citizens Police Review Board is still navigating its new role after the city limited its power.
KMU8's Graham Bronstein is live from our downtown newsroom. Now he takes a look at what the future holds for the board after its meeting tonight. Graham.
In the downtown newsroom, Graham Bronstein, KOMU8 News.
And thank you, Graham. Well, the organization Destiny of Hope has received more funding from the city of Columbia. The Columbia nonprofit allocated over $120,000 from the city to help their efforts. Destiny of Hope helps connect at-risk youth with services to promote better habits. Some of these services include mentoring, therapy, and study help. The executive director says there's an increased desire to use the services, and the funding will help them provide for more of the community.
Small business owners filled the streets in downtown Columbia today to attend the Main Street Summit. The festival-style event provides an opportunity for small businesses and entrepreneurs to connect with others and build relationships. In its second year, the event has grown, bringing in over 1,000 people from across the world to Columbia. One speaker at the event says it does a great job highlighting downtown and all it has to offer.
I get to go to a lot of unique events, both in my industry, which is e-commerce, and in small business events broadly, and the Permanent Equity team just does a fantastic job of really showing off the city and putting on a great experience for attendees here, and I love coming back.
The festival includes interviews, presentations, workshops, and socials. It'll wrap up tomorrow evening. And despite the deadly storm making landfall in Florida, here in mid-Missouri, we were in for an absolutely gorgeous sunset tonight.
That's right. Take a look at the video from earlier this evening. It is beautiful. This was the view from a drone over Stadium Boulevard as the sun was setting. So let's bring in Matt again with what Mid-Missourians can expect for the rest of the week. Matt?
Evie, we're looking pretty quiet here in Mid-Missouri. Temperature is going to be climbing through.
Well, you're taking a live look at St. Petersburg, Florida. Hurricane Milton made landfall near a barrier island next to Sarasota just a few hours ago. Milton made landfall as a Category 3 hurricane. It's now a Category 2 hurricane. According to the National Hurricane Center, the eye of the storm made landfall just south of Sarasota, clocking in nearly 120-mile-per-hour winds.
Now, even before fully coming ashore, the storm triggered multiple tornadoes across Florida. Here is some new video of Tropicana Field's roof being torn off in St. Petersburg due to the high wind. USA Today says the stadium was going to house thousands of first responders.
I think that there was somewhere between 98 and 100% of people that did evacuate from Holmes Beach. We made the message clear that this was not the storm to hunker down in. This is not Helene. We're not going to be able to get out and rescue you.
Currently, again, over 1.5 million customers are without power in Florida. That's according to poweroutage.us.
Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays. Well, 10 scholarship newcomers and a bold goal for a highly decorated freshman class. Mizzou basketball is back, and I got more next in sports.
Welcome back. We continue to watch the radar with Milton. It is continuing to bring that heavy rain to the Tampa area all the way into Orlando, Daytona Beach as well. This storm going to be off to sea by tomorrow morning by about 7 a.m. So make sure you stay with us. We'll be tracking that tomorrow morning for you on KOMU 8 News Today, plus the latest on any damage. Of course, the roof of the stadium there in Tampa gone, shredded. So we'll have the latest developments on that and more damage and more video coming in.
And they were supposed to house rescuers there. So.
Yeah, so, you know, it looked like a pretty thin roof.
Yeah. I'm not sure, I'm not certain, but there have been some buildings of that age tend to have the Kevlar roof, similar to the Pontiac Silverdome there, so that probably would not have been able to withstand much.
Yeah, so we'll continue to follow those developments. We'll have those for you on KOMU 8 News Today in the morning.
Have a good night.